Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Jackson on first down, making the catch is Sternberger. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They'll run on first down. It's Harmon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On third down, Blake looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now a give, right side. Harmon. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
Looking to throw. Blake got him in. It's Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Blake. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Back to throw. Blake on the screen. This is Coleman. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Blake. This will be caught inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Blake. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from you...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Play action. It's Jackson. He gets this to Devontae Adams. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
On second down, it's Jones. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They go play action now. Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Jones hit, and the ball's held.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now it's Jackson, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Now a give, right side. Harmon. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
To throw on 2nd down. Blake. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 63 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You've got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Blake. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Blake rolling to his right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. From 6 yards away. And the Redskins have taken the lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open. You're able to get it to them.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On the delay, Jones. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now Jackson, it's caught. Jones. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
56, Mike.
Again, Jackson gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Jackson will throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 2nd and 2. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. A final shot before break. Blake.
We got this.
So we have come to halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Redskins now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. On first down, it's Harmon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Harmon. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. It's Harmon, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. Touchdown, Redskins!
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, Harmon. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harmon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
59, Mike, 59, Mike. Check, 59. Touchdown, defense. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Check 59, Mike. Mike is 50.
Back to throw. Blake. And James has it. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. On 1st down, Blake flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. 2nd down and inches. Now they go screen. It's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harmon. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now it's Jackson, and that's complete to Adams. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Blake. Throwing left side, it's complete. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Blake. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Redskins leads to a touchdown. McManus's point after is good. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
Mike 51. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Throwing is Jackson. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he'll get this into the hands of Deion Kane. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 37.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the result, a Green Bay score. And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give the Redskins 13 there on a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A 1st down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down now. It's Harmon, and they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They will run again with Coleman. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. So a victory here for the Washington Redskins. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them and evened it up for this ball game. Methodical and